Welcome back to Change Geek, where it's all about driving personal success. I'm your host, Constance On, and today we'll be covering dead-end jobs and how to tell if you're in one. If you're returning to my channel, why not hit that like and subscribe button? And when you do, it lets me know you like my content, which takes on average 40 to 60 hours from research, editing, to production to create. It certainly gives me motivation when people like and subscribe, and it helps me to keep producing quality material to help you and others achieve lasting personal success. So on dead-end jobs, people often tell me they're in a dead-end job when in fact they're not. And some people tell me they're doing okay in their job when they're not realizing they're actually in a dead-end job. So how can you tell if you're in a dead-end job, and why is it so important to get out of one very quickly? So on the dead-end job definition, I just want to be really clear. There's 3 requirements for that. One is there's no career projection. You have a starved mind, nothing left to learn. Undervalued, you're definitely being paid under the market value, and it's been going on for a long time. Okay, factors of a dead-end job. There are some considerations to make. First of all, let's look at your company's stability. Is it financially viable? It's not just about cash positioning. It's also about their strategy for competitiveness and what is it for market growth. Consider what is the pipeline for new products and services. Does it remain healthy in the pipeline? There's also your specific organization. I thought about separating this out. Do I or do not separate it out is definitely a differentiating factor to consider, because oftentimes a company itself is not stable, but your individual organization is doing very well financially. In those circumstances, there might be a spinoff, a sell-off, so you might want to hang on there, and it could be very favorable for you to hang on, because that dead-end job could transform to not a dead-end, to something much better. The other things to consider are your company culture. Does it breed toxicity? Is there a lack of cohesiveness? Are there silos within silos? Is there only one private circle that's making all the decisions for the company? Those are all things to consider, and how company culture affects you and whether or not you're in a dead-end job. And most importantly, your manager's engagement with employees. Does your leadership hire outside for those key positions? This affects your ability, obviously, to be internally promoted, but it also indicates that there's favoritism and clear indicators of bias. How available is your leadership for employees to address roadblocks and operational issues that are definitely connected to job satisfaction? And this last piece it's about you, and I want to talk about it's your tolerance for mediocrity. If you have a high tolerance for mediocrity, then you're going to stay in that job that doesn't meet any of your passions. The degree of comfort and the position you're in may make you blind to determine whether or not you're in a dead-end job. Another flag to watch for is when there's a lack of a reward and recognition system for employees that take on more and more responsibilities, but they just get verbally rewarded. Like, oh, you're doing great, keep going, what are we going to do without you? But there's nothing behind that in terms of a promotion or a financial reward for that. I want to reflect back very quickly to Maslow's need hierarchy. There's 3 things to consider. The basics, right? And we want to talk about the basics. It's the safety, the needs, the physiological needs. And then there's the psychological aspect of it. Your sense of esteem, your belonging, feeling loved and included. And then there's the last piece, which is the self-fulfillment, which is your self-actualization. If I map that right over the factors of a dead-end job, suddenly we see this alignment of what are the basic things that comprise of a dead-end job, right? Your org's dynamics, your company stability, how that aligns to Maslow's need. And of course, I want to focus on the top piece. This is about you, your self-fulfillment, your self-actualization. The correlation of self-actualization to your self-understanding, your tolerances, your life circumstances that help you or hinder you in reaching your purposes in life. So are you in a dead-end job? Believe it or not, yes, you could be in a dead-end job if all of the factors of a dead-end job are greater than your personal tolerances for it. You have to remember when assessing this if you're tolerating a dead-end job right now. It's only a matter of time before you've had enough. The issue is that some people let that time linger out longer and longer until it becomes self-mutilating to themselves or self-destructive to themselves. So you've got to consider that time being the most precious asset you have. That's why it's so important to determine whether you're in that dead-end job very quickly and to get out before you experience that lingering phenomenon when you wake up 10, 20 years later and you realize you've been in a dead-end job. Add comment below. If you like the content, don't forget to hit that like and subscribe button. You can also follow me on Facebook at Change Management Geek. I look forward to catching you on my next Change Management Geek topic. And until then, thank you very much. Thank you. That was so freaking hard. My family. Thank you, my family. Thank you. That was so hard. Oh my God. Killed me. I was like...